Kavanagh. Well, I've got to talk to you about more threats being made to high-profile Iraqi women. This is a live stream that was broadcast online by a former Miss Iraq called Shima Qasem. She says she's received a message saying that she's going to be killed, and there's every reason for her to take that seriously. She's very prominent on Instagram. She has almost 3 million followers. Tara Fares also had a huge following. This is a video, one of many videos she posted online. She was a fashion model and blogger, and on Thursday she was gunned down in Baghdad. She was 22, and we have this CCTV footage which shows her at the wheel of her Porsche just moments before the attack. We know 2 days before this murder, a human rights activist was shot in her car in Basra in the south of Iraq. Now, let's talk to Hadya Alawi from BBC Arabic, who's here. Hi, Hadya.
Hello.
Is there any evidence this is coordinated?
It's very possible. These four women, I mean, these two women, and then there's other two women who have been killed before that. They seem to be sharing the same social media circles. The Prime Minister, Hadya al-Abadi, came out and he said that there seems to be some reason to believe that these are maybe coordinated, or maybe that there's a reason behind all these killings, and that he's ordered an investigation based on that.
Interestingly, I saw another quote from him, though, saying he felt this was more to undermine the security apparatus in Iraq rather than making a point about these women.
I don't think they're quite sure yet what these killings were about. I mean, all these women are very outspoken, as you mentioned in your intro, and all of them have a lot of followers. They're quite, you know, Iraq is a very conservative society, and for them to have such outspoken women, it is very unusual. So we're not quite sure whether this was because of the way they present themselves on social media, that they're getting these threats, or just because it's just random acts of violence happening in a country where security is very minimum at this point, and it's very hard to keep track of everyone doing something wrong in the country.
Is it starting to affect how younger women behave in the big cities like Baghdad?
I mean, women in Iraq are usually, especially in Baghdad, are quite conservative anyway. I think they're quite scared of being very, you know, dressing in a certain way that's considered, let's say, European or out of the norm. And of course they are scared. Like we've seen the Miss Iraq today, she came out, she was crying. I mean, there's a reason for them to be scared, because if they're targeting women based on how outspoken they are and how they're dressed, then I'm sure that's going to affect them somehow.
When you say they're outspoken, what are they outspoken about?
So this is a very interesting question, because when I was looking at this story and digging a little bit deeper into it, I spoke to a couple of people in Iraq as well. They said that Tara, which has been actually killed on Thursday, like you mentioned, criticized a certain, she didn't mention a name, but she criticized a certain Shia leader, and she said that she criticized religious figures in general, and she comes from a Christian family, but she converted into Islam, but she was very outspoken about the things that she didn't agree with in the religion. So for her to post videos like that is very controversial in Iraq, and there have been some links made between possibly her killing and how outspoken she was about these issues. But as I said, it's not clear. We're not really sure why she was killed. There are a lot of hypotheses going around, but for sure that she wasn't really a conservative, regular 22-year-old. In that society, she was considered a little bit different from everyone else around her. So a very interesting young lady, and yeah, we'll see how the investigation goes in the next few days.
Okay, Hadya, thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Those of you watching, if you speak Arabic, you can